You want to start building your board when it can add real strategic value. And there are certain inflection points that represent these points in time. Therefore, I would not recommend building your board all at once. I like to think of it as build it forward. Add board members when they can actually help, not to check boxes.
Welcome back to the hotline. Let's get straight to the question.
Peace and blessings, TxO Startup founder, and I'm early stage, and I am looking to build my board of directors right now. And my question was, when is it time to build your board of directors? When is it too early? When is a good time to build your board of directors? Thank you.
For this question, we called in someone who spends a lot of time helping founders build their boards, Jeff Stump, operating partner at Andreessen Horowitz and the head of our talent network team. Jeff spent years helping early and growth stage companies build their leadership teams and think strategically about governance. Hey, Jeff, welcome to the hotline.
Thank you, Kofi. It's such a pleasure to join your hotline, and thanks so much to this founder for calling in. Great question, great topic. It's something that I love talking about. Let's talk about some historical stats. We actually conducted a study of board formation from Series A through IPO across 59 different companies from 2010 to 2019, with a focus on timing, structure, and the profiles of these early on board members. By the end of Series B, 42%, or 25 of the 59, actually had brought on at least one independent director. 55%, or 17 of the 31, of those independents actually had prior CEO experience, highlighting a very clear bias towards seasoned executive talent among early board additions. Generally speaking, you want to start building your board when it can add real strategic value. And there are certain inflection points that represent these points in time. Therefore, I would not recommend building your board all at once. I like to think of it as build it forward. Add board members when they can actually help, not to check boxes. One of these first milestones can be right after product market fit. Think of it as a point in time where the customer believes in the very thing that you're building, getting them to understand it, know it, want it. You don't need a board member to find product market fit. That's your job. So now that you've got some revenue traction after you achieve product market fit, let's talk about adding this first independent board member. Ideally, a former CEO, someone that can actually help you shape early go-to-market, org building, team design. The second inflection point is as the company starts to scale. Now, you can start to think about adding board members who fill in what I call knowledge gaps. These things include things like what I call voice of customer. These are folks that you want to bring on your board that represent your buyer personas. The second one, think of it as functional depth, bringing on a world-class CRO to help you sell, or industry regulatory expertise. All right, finally, your third milestone is around 12 to 18 months before IPO. If you're fortunate enough to make it to this point in time, this is when you really want to consider bringing on a public readiness expert. Think of this as a world-class CFO acting as your audit chair to meet governance standards and support finance and compliance needs. Now that we've had the personas nailed down, you might be thinking, how do I go about recruiting for this individual? Or at least that's what I'd be asking myself if I was this caller. First and foremost, the CEO needs to drive the process of identifying and recruiting board members. This is the CEO's board to build, no one else's. Candidates take notice if the CEO is driving this search. The CEO should and needs to treat a board of director search like any other critical senior management hire, with a structured spec, regular update cadences, as well as a defined process. Consensus between the CEO and the board that you built on candidates' profiles, outreach strategy, and evaluation criteria is essential to avoid misalignment and reduce friction. A strong close includes references conducted by no one else other than the CEO, clear and unified compensation messaging, and proactive onboarding to make sure this great new director that you hire is actually set up for success and early impact. Thanks again, Kofi, for having me. I really hope this helps the founder. Back over to you.
Thanks so much, Jeff, for the great advice, and thank you all for tuning in. Keep the questions coming. Give us a call at 844-DIAL-TXO. See you next time on the hotline.